Boy Mike C. It's Speak Club Podcast. Very special guest, returning guest. If you're offended, do not watch this motherfucking podcast. You're easily offended. The very controversial Saki Balboa himself of the Fuck You Mean podcast. My nigga Money Miz. My
Yo,
Massachusetts brethren. What's
thank
good,
you
my nigga?
very much. What's good, man? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be back on the Speak Your Clout podcast, baby.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Word.
And
So what's good?
very
What's been
special.
good with you?
Ain't shit, what we talked about off air, been dealing with that nonsense, you know what I mean? But other than
Yeah.
that, just maintaining, brother, taking each day at a time, doing the podcast, taking care of my motherfucking family, shit like that.
Word.
You know
That's
what I
the most
mean?
important. That's the most important thing right there.
Hell yeah, brother.
Fuck everybody.
Yeah. So it prompted this episode. I want to do this way back with Miz. I hit up Miz like last year about it, but time didn't permit, but we got it now.
Yo,
But
man, honestly, it's probably due to the fact that I'm a weed head and I always forget shit.
oh, my nigga, I'm the same way, dog. You met Miz. Off topic, my nigga. When
Yeah.
I was in the hospital off that sativa, you taught me about the strains, my nigga. I appreciate
Yeah.
that, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, it makes a big difference, man, depending on, your mood and what you're trying to accomplish, man. The sativa and the indica, very different vibes on those highs, man.
oh yeah. I've been on the indica and hybrid since then because of you, brother. I appreciate it, my nigga.
Yeah, no doubt, because I think I told you this before when we were discussing this that first time. Like,
Yeah.
yo, I was doing those pure sativas, and I drink like a coffee with it or whatever, and my heartbeat would go through the fucking roof, man. Sativas, it's like doing cocaine, dog. Like,
Yes, my nigga. I
bro,
never
I,
do
I
coke
got
yet.
I got two panic attacks last year, and I had no idea what the fuck why that was happening. But
Yeah.
both times I had drank a coffee, like an iced coffee, and just smoked a sativa joint to the face, and that shit literally gave me a panic attack. It was too much. So, like I said, now I fuck with, like, the hybrids, like the indica sativa mixes or indicas, because those are more of a body high. They kind of relax you, but the sativas get you amped, man. And yeah,
Oh
that shit
yeah.
fucked me up, bro.
Yeah, same here, brother. That shit was doing jumping jacks, my nigga. I was like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
man. Yeah, sativas, sometimes they're a little too strong.
Yeah, fuck all that. I'm good with that. So I appreciate that, brother. But
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
what really kicked this idea off was, the legendary Ghostface Killah
Yeah.
dropped his latest album, Ghostface Killers, and we'll get to that later. But I seen
No
Miz
doubt.
Miz was going off. I'm like, oh man, I agree with this dude. You know what I mean?
Yo.
But
it's 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 a tough job out here calling these motherfuckers out, man.
right. And I know Ghost is your favorite MC of all time. So what better person
Absolutely.
to have for this episode?
Absolutely.
We're doing top five Ghostface Killer albums, man. And
Word.
how I want to kick the show off is like we do on every show when we haven't discussed an artist. I'm pretty sure it's the same answer, but for the sake of the show, we could do this real quick. How did you discover Wu-Tang Clan, brother?
Oh, okay. So, all right. Good question, man. I got a little
Yeah,
story here for that. So basically, all right. I've been listening to rap music since like 1987, 1988, I'd say. And I was like 7 or 8 years old at the time. I didn't know much, but I knew I liked fucking rap music, man. I was watching Yo
there you.
MTV Raps and Rap City and all that shit. Anyways, I grew up on that. Long story short, it was seventh grade algebra class, right? So I'm in seventh grade algebra class, and my homie from back in the day, this kid named Jason Kahn, he comes into the classroom, and we would always talk about rap music and shit. So he's like, "Yo," either like his older brother had the tape or somebody he knew, and next thing you know, he's got Wu Tang 36 Chambers in his hand. And this was
Oh
this was
shit.
like not yeah, this was like the end of '93, like right maybe like a month or two after the album came out or whatever. I had never heard of them. I had no clue, like no clue who the fuck they were. I was in seventh grade, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it
Yeah.
is. So he's like, yo, listen to this. He had his Walkman, and he puts the shit on the earphones, and I start listening, and it was that Method Man song, and it was the interlude right before Method Man, where they're talking about I'll fuck it and I'll fucking sew
I'll
your asshole
fucking
clothes. Yeah.
yeah.
So I hear that intro, that little interlude, And I'm dying laughing. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? And then, they introduced the RZA, the Jizza, the old dirty bastard. Then Method Man comes on, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? I'm like, this song is nasty, dog. So I
Hell
had to
yeah.
I had to beg my boy Jason to let me borrow the tape. And he was a big dude. He was on a football team, and he was the type of guy you didn't want to fuck with. Like he would definitely beat your ass up if you fucked him over. So he's like, yo, this is my older brother's tape. Like, bro, I can't be giving this out. I'm like, no. I'm like, you don't understand. I have to record this. I have to dub this off of you tonight. I promise you, I will bring this back to school tomorrow with not a scratch on it. I talked him into it. Luckily, got the tape, dubbed that shit on my boombox later that night, brought him his tape back the next day, and I had Wu-Tang 36 Chambers on a bootleg dubbed cassette tape for years before
Same
I
here,
e-
brother.
but before I even purchased that shit for real. I was in 7th grade. Motherfuckers weren't going out and dropping hundreds of dollars every Tuesday on music. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
same
like,
here. Hell yeah.
yeah. So my first experience with them was just a dub tape, and I must have broke that tape over and over, man. I had to dub it a million times because I just could not stop playing 36 Chambers, man. So once I heard that shit, I was all about Wu-Tang. I loved the kung fu samples. I loved the way they rapped. The beats were grimy. I never heard anything like that at that time. And I just fell in love with that shit. And then literally, once I got that tape and I started studying them and trying to figure out who was rapping, you try to mix up the voices and shit. You don't know. There's 9 dudes in the group. I was getting confused, right? And and then I just started researching them. Then you start hearing them more on like local radio. We had, I'm sure you remember 88.9 at night back in the day. WERS. They used to
Yeah,
play
Uncle
hip
put me
hop
onto
from,
that shit.
yeah, hell yeah. They used to play like rap music from 8 to 11 every weeknight. So I'd hear like Jizza songs coming on, Raekwon, Cuban Links, Ghostface, Iron Man, and like that was it. Like I just fell in love with that shit. But once Cuban Links dropped, that's when I fell in love with Ghostface, No Homo. And that
Oh yeah.
was, yeah, that was my dude. That's when, like, at first the Jizza was always my favorite in Wu-Tang because I just liked him lyrically. And
Yeah.
obviously Liquid Swords dropped, and I was like, get the fuck out of here, forget about that. But yo, that Cuban Links, man, I always been partial to the gangster mafioso
Right here, brother. Same here, bro.
type of street shit. I don't know. That's entertaining to me, man. I'm big on Goodfellas, Casino,
Oh
Scarface,
yeah.
shit like that. Godfather, all that. So like Ray and Ghost were incorporating that type of vibe into the music, and I was like, oh man, this is like the best of both worlds for me. So ever
Yeah, yeah.
since then, I just been on that shit. And Ghostface just once Cuban Links and Iron Man came out, that solidified Ghostface as my guy. And then obviously
Yeah.
Supreme Clientele, I was like, forget it. Like, this dude's the fucking goat.
I can't wait to
And
get into that, my nigga.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
can't wait.
So like, so basically, yeah, he's been my favorite ever since. But the motherfucker has been subpar for the last 9 years, and
Wholeheartedly agree.
yeah, and he's pissing me the fuck off. But that's another story.
Oh yeah, a great breakdown how you got into them, brother. I enjoyed that, man. Hell
Right.
yeah.
Word.
For
Word.
for me, it was 1995, man. My
Yup.
uncle had this Video Music Monthly, I think it was called. It was like a monthly fucking VHS
Yup.
tape that you would get in the mail, and he had the
Oh yeah,
90.
yeah.
You remember that shit? Yeah,
I
he
remember
had the
those. Yeah,
90,
yeah.
the 93 joint, which had KRS-One, Sound of the Police,
Yep.
Alcoholics, Only When I'm Drunk, Master Ace, Jeep Ass Nigga was on there, and what blew my motherfucking mind was the Mystery of Chess Boxing, brother. Let me tell you, man.
Yeah.
You know what I
Hell yeah.
mean? I was
Hell
10
yeah.
years old. I was in the Storm Shadow with Snake Eyes, like ninja motherfuckers. So when I
Right.
seen these niggas, yo,
Yeah.
son, I lost my fucking mind.
Yo,
My
and
mom's,
Method Man killed that.
uh,
Oh man, his flow was too smooth on that shit, man.
oh my, insane. In the video, brother. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Right.
Goes with
Right.
the stocking cat, all that fly shit.
Hell
And
yeah.
I was 10, fucking left the house with my fucking allowance money, my nigga.
Right.
Got that tape. Got that tape. My uncle got me Ready to Die and Bone Thugs and Harmony, E1999 along with it. So those are my first 3 tapes. period.
Wow.
And
Yep.
yeah, Wu-Tang, like niggas were drawing the W on their notebooks. Like
Oh, tell
everybody,
me about it.
yeah,
100%. When I was in school, man, if you go back and look at any of my notebooks from class, I'd have some class notes, but all in the
yeah,
margins, man, I'd be drawing Woo W's everywhere.
yeah. Everybody in
Crazy.
my project. I was in Maple Gardens projects from '92 to 2001, and everybody in that projects, man, niggas driving the Pathfinders, bump older heads, bumping that shit. You know what
Right,
I mean?
right.
And oh man, I never
Yeah,
seen it
for
like that in my life.
me
You
either.
know?
And the reason why they stuck so well for me as like number one, just the clan as a whole, was
Yeah,
because you could always go back to any of those albums in the 90s and hear something new that you didn't catch the first time or the 10th time or the
absolutely.
20th time. So like those albums, it was like unraveling a mystery. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
all the different slang they were incorporating, like bro, man, you had to listen to that shit 100 times and get like context clues within the lines so you could figure out what the fuck that slang word meant and stuff like that. So
right,
like I always kept going back trying to decipher what the fuck they were saying. And then it's like once you figure it out, it blows your mind even more. Like you already knew how lyrical they were, but once you figure out all those lyrics, man, there is no comparison. Wu-Tang in the 90s, nobody can fuck with them, man.
absolutely, and that's what we have in common, man. It's like Wu Tang is my favorite music. Period, bro.
Yeah,
Absolutely, period. You know.
yeah,
And with
100%.
the slang, it's funny because my one of my best friends who's locked up right now, hold your head, Ray. His uncle was like a 5% type nigga, so he was
Yep.
teaching me that shit. Like culture cipher means 40 ounce and all that shit. I didn't
Right,
know none of
right.
that shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
a lot of that I had to figure out myself. I had to read the fucking Wu-Tang manual.
yeah, I know about
They
that.
broke a lot of that slang down there. A lot of it, like, a lot of it I had known, just being
Yeah,
into hip hop and having friends and shit like that. A lot of it you already know, but there was a good like who knows 10-20% of the slang they were dropping that I had no clue that I either had to figure out on my own or get it through like talking to a friend or something like that, man. But that's why I love their music, man, because it was
oh
always
hell
like
yeah,
uncovering a new mystery every time you heard that shit. You're like, oh, that's what that means. Or then like the acronyms that they would always throw in there, like peace. They wouldn't say peace. They'd be like positive energy activates constant elevation or whatever the hell the acronym was. So like they did that
yeah,
with a lot of their bars, and then I'd go back like, oh shit, they be doing acronyms. And then I go back and hear shit again. And it's like, oh, that was an acronym for this or that or whatever. I don't know. They always just blow my mind lyrically, man.
absolutely, brother. They really did, man. you know,
Yep.
and like Wu Tang Forever. That's another reason why I fuck with you so heavy because that's your favorite Wu album, just like it's mine. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, because I think Wu Tang Forever they were at their pinnacle. That was their absolute prime lyrically. Those guys,
absolutely,
yeah, like I never heard them dudes rap like that, and they were already rapping quite amazingly. you know,
absolutely.
I felt like Wu Tang Forever. They just took it to like one level up. They leveled up one last time, and the bars that were spit, the knowledge that was dropped, man, it were jewels all over that album. The beats were
Absolutely.
hard as fuck. Best double album ever. Yeah, there's a
Absolutely.
couple skip tracks in there, but who cares, man? The rest of that shit
Yeah.
is pure gold. And yeah, for me, that's the greatest album ever, just because of the lyrical content, man.
And when it came out, my nigga, like I was pacing my fucking schoolyard. I
Oh
was
yeah,
12 years old. I couldn't fucking wait. And what made it even worse, niggas, I guess they had a midnight release. And the older
yep,
niggas in my projects like, yo, Mike, this shit is fire. you know what I mean?
yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
man.
oh man, I couldn't
Oh,
wait. But
that album is
oh,
something else, man.
it's special, man. It's special shit, my nigga. All
Indeed.
right, top five Ghostface Killer albums, man. Since you're the guest, brother, what you got as your number five?
All right, so number five, you're talking like official albums, right? None of these like mixtapes or like compilation shits, right?
Yeah, straight studio albums. Yep, that's what
Studio
I'm going
albums.
with.
All right, word. All right, so number five, I got the Pretty Tony album at number
Oh
five.
man, love it.
Yeah, I fucks with that. There's definitely a couple skip tracks in there, but like
Yeah.
Biscuits, that song Biscuits with Trife, get the
Oh my
fuck
god.
out of here. That shit is so hard, man. Dog, I love that joint. Then you got,
Smart dumb niggas and shit.
yeah, man. He's like, yo, he told him to go to the store and get the fucking whatever the banana nutriment or whatever the fuck he was
Nutriment.
saying. This dude, yo, and that's another reason why I like Ghost so much, because he might not be like pound for pound the best lyricist. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying he's got the total package though. He's got charisma.
Absolutely.
He's got the voice. He's got the flow. He's got the style. He's got the bars. He's got the slang. Like his overall aura is just everything that I fuck with. You know what I mean? So like that's why to me he's like overall the greatest rapper. So like, yeah, Jizza might be better lyrically than him, but like overall, Ghostface he embodies like a rapper's rapper to me, man.
I
Anyways,
agree, bro.
pretty Tony album's my number 5. It's got Run on there with Jadakiss.
Man.
Be This Way, I used to love that shit.
I fucking adore that song.
Metal Lungies with Sheik Luch and Styles. God, I love that beat. Sheik was
Jesus
talking
Christ.
about he was like powerful enough to lift a fucking donkey or
The
whatever.
donkey.
He said some shit about bitches in the tub with him like a rubber ducky dog.
Yeah.
That's my shit. Anyways, yeah, that's number 5 for me. Pretty Tony album.
When Styles P said, "Nigga, this is Ghost with Ghostface.
Yeah.
Knock his teeth out and burn him so they." Oh my goodness, that was amazing.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's my shit.
Yeah,
So that's my number 5 from Ghost. How about you?
great choice, brother. I got Fish Scale 2006, man.
Word.
Oh, my nigga,
very solid.
I love it. Yo, son, I was working at the time at FIE. On my break, got the motherfucking CD. Went to the whip and played the first couple tracks. That Clyde Smith shit, which is just Raekwon. You know what I mean?
Yup.
That intro was fire. I love that shit, man.
Yeah, I love that shit too, because it brought me back to that whole Supreme Clientele vibe when Ray was calling out 50 Cent with that Clyde Smith shit back then, yo.
Yeah, on Clientele, my nigga.
Yeah. Hell
Got
yeah.
Shaky
And then
Dog,
that
which is
Shaky
amazing.
Dog, yeah.
Yes, that shit is
that beat is so ill.
Kilo and fucking the Champ when they got the character playing Mickey from Rocky had been his hungry to Supreme Clientele, knocked the fat nigga out in like 8 seconds. That shit, ooh man, he killed that shit. Ripped your guts out like a hysterectomy. Oh my god.
Right.
Yeah.
I think who was that?
Ragu,
that was just Blaze, I think, on that. Oh, Ragu, so
good.
So good.
Ragu with Ray, that shit is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
9 Milli Bros, all that shit is fucking fire, my nigga. Like, love this album.
Yeah, man. He had a few
great
Doom
album.
beats. He had a couple Doom beats in there, I think. He had great features on this one too, man. I could segue right off of you because Fish Scale's my number 4. Yeah, Fish Scale's my number 4.
Yeah. Go ahead, miss.
And yeah, man, I just agree with you, dog. Like, it's a very solid album. First of all, you got like 24 tracks on this motherfucker. It's a real album, like full-length album. And for the most part, Ghostface is spitting his Ghostface bars like he always does, He's got great production throughout this motherfucker. I like that song Mama, even.
I like that shit too.
Hell yeah, man. Clips of Doom, Jellyfish with fucking Capadonna and Trife. Dogs of
That's
War,
crazy.
I fucked with. Capadonna had an ill verse on it. Yo, shout out Trife and Sun God, because they always have good features on Ghostface albums.
Ghost's son?
Yeah, Sun God, he can spit, man. I fuck with him for real. Yeah, man, that's number 4 for me. So I don't know, very solid album, man. I fuck with Fish Scale all day.
Hell yeah, man. I was very, very pleased with that album when that came out, my nigga.
Hell yeah, unlike nowadays.
Oh, God. Yo, I can't wait to get to that because I'm going to go off just like you, brother.
Yeah, man.
But my number 4 is a Pretty Tony album, man.
Wow, we got them flipped.
Yeah. Miz touched on it, man. The Biscuits with Trife, love that. Beat the Clock, Metal Lungies, Run with Jada. Tim, stop feeling like they Nike Airs on me. Kiss killed that shit, man.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Holla, the Delphonics flip, I think it is. That was amazing. Holla.
That shit, yo, that was possibly the first time, maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember. I have so many songs in my head nowadays, but It was one of the first times I heard Ghostface rap over like an old school like soul song, and
Yeah.
just literally rap while the dude's singing in the background. That shit was
Let him
so
rhyme my
ill.
sing.
Yeah, man. And when it went into the chorus, you like holla, holla, holla if you want to. He's like, I'll bust you.
Yeah, that's just fire.
Yo, I mean that dude, yo, that's charisma right there, man. Like
Absolutely.
nobody was fucking with Ghost when he was on that type of shit, man. Unfortunately,
Oh.
he ain't on that no more. But we'll keep that moving. We'll keep that moving.
Yeah. Tush is absolute fucking trash, but
Yeah, I don't fuck
other
with that
than
one
that,
either. Yeah,
it's all fire. I love this album, man. It's fucking amazing to me. I fucks
absolutely,
with Pretty Tony album, brother. That's my number
absolutely.
4, man.
Agreed. Very good album. All right,
Hell yeah.
what we on to? Number 3 now.
Yup. Number
All
3,
right.
brother.
So number 3 for me is Bulletproof Wallets, and
Uh,
for whatever reason, some people out there just be hating on Bulletproof Wallets.
I don't get that. I don't get it.
I'll never get it because that's my third favorite fucking Ghostface album, man. It's classic Ray and Ghost shit. You know what I mean? Um, the Forest, come on, the Forest with Alchemist on the
Uh,
beat. Forget about it, man. Fucking Flowers, Maxine, when they telling the story about the dude, the pimp that was fucking with his mom's in the crib. Dude stepped on his Biggie Smalls album, then they kicked him out the window of the building or whatever. That come on, man. These stories are crazy funny, man. The
right?
Hilton, another ill story of some wild fucking assassination attempt in a Hilton hotel. Strawberries with Killer Sin. Come on, man.
Oh, that shit is
Dog,
bananas. I love
dog,
that beat.
so good, man. When RZA comes in the middle on like the interlude, he's like, oh, yo, he's like, I can hear it. She's slurping and burping.
Slamming the
dog, come on, man. This fucking album is amazing, dog. The Jooks with Trifin Superb talking about
Oh,
a
what's in it?
CeeLo game. Come on, man.
Shoot it. Oh,
Dog,
you gotta
so
stop. 6 bitches to the top.
get to
Oh,
the top,
fire.
yo, so good, so good. Shout out Lloyd Superb, motherfucker died, R.I.P. However, he was a pedophile apparently, so fuck that dude at the same time. Whatever. He had some good
What up?
verses though. I fuck with them, you know. I mean,
Oh,
but
yeah, he did. He did.
if he really was a pedophile though, fuck that dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but whatever though. His verse on that shit was crazy good, man. Yeah, man. Bulletproof Wallets was ill. Some people all upset because a couple tracks got taken off because of sample clearance issues. I think the Watch
Yeah.
and what was it? The
Good
Sun, I think.
times.
Yeah, Good Times. Yeah, those
The
were
sun
supposed
too,
to be
yeah.
on it. Yeah. But whatever, they ended up re-releasing it, I think, or they put those songs out on a later album of his or
Yeah,
whatever.
hidden dots. Hidden
Yeah,
dots.
yeah,
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 one of those
exactly.
joints. Yeah.
One of them type of shits, yeah. But anyways, bottom line, despite all of that shit, this album has a bunch of bangers on it. Excellent beats. Ray and Ghost are rapping still in their prime. And for me, that's definitely his third best album. I don't even think it's close.
Absolutely. You killed it, Miz, because that's my number fucking 3 as well. You said everything. You know what I mean? Like,
Word.
absolutely. The story about this was I was a freshman in high school, I think I was. I was like 17 or some shit. I can't remember, 16 maybe. And I
Mm-hmm.
got this at the bootleg spot called Vibe. The nigga had the bootleg, and the bootleg had the Sun on there, had, the
Yup.
original album.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, shit's fire. When the retail came out, I wasn't even that mad because it was still Flames.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it was just missing like 2 tracks, basically.
Yeah.
And they redid the track listing, like the order of the songs or whatever. But at the end of the day, the fuck's the difference, man?
Right?
The retail version was like 15, 16 songs deep, and it was like 2 or 3 skips. For me, that is an excellent album.
It is street chemistry, my nigga. Oh my lord.
Oh man, I forgot about Street Chemistry, dog. Killer Sim was on that one too, right?
Oh, this bitch trying to call me. Get the fuck out of here, yo. Yeah. That's my bad, my nigga.
All
Yeah.
right.
Killer Sin was on. Yeah, I think it was on there. Was that Killer Sin?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he was on that shit too, man. Hell yeah. Crazy. That song was ill. Too good. He had a couple of good Alchemist beats on that album for sure.
Hell yeah. Alchemist And Ghost, man, that's like a fucking match made in
Forget
heaven
about.
right there. You know what I
Indeed,
mean? Like
indeed.
Ghost.
Uh,
I even like Ghost Showers. That was a banger to me. You know.
yeah, man. I fucked with all those songs, dog. He could flip R&B type shits um masterfully and still keep it gully and hood. You know what I mean? Like he just, I don't know. He's able to bridge that gap seamlessly, man. Whereas like a guy like Nas, for me, he needs to stay away from those commercial songs because he
Oh
always
yeah,
fails.
yeah.
He always fails.
He's
But
pissing me the fuck off too.
Ghost can pull them shits off though. I fuck with his joints like that.
Oh yeah, never be the same again. I love that shit. You know what I mean? Was it
Hell yeah.
good? Show
Hell
him your
yeah.
sexy face. Was it hood? I love that shit, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, Bulletproof Wallace, my nigga, number 3 for me, man.
Word, word.
Yeah.
All right. So number 2 for me, a lot of people might hate on me for this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. number 2, I have Supreme Clientele.
Amazing.
Most people have that at number 1. Most people have it at number 1, and I ain't even mad at that because this album is one of the most classic rap albums ever created. So like if you got that at number 1, not you or anybody, right? I
Yeah.
would never argue that because sometimes even I think it's number 1. Sometimes. But I mean, I don't even know if I have to say anything about Supreme Clientele. This album is essentially flawless, man. This is go.
Absolutely,
This
brother.
is go. This is Ghostface in his solo career. This is him at his pinnacle. These are his best lyrics ever. Is on Supreme Clientele. Even though it's not my number 1 favorite Ghost album, I think he is at his all-time best on Supreme Clientele. Nobody can fuck with him. Come on. Mighty Healthy,
Uh,
bro.
uh, oh
Apollo
my
Kids, dog.
goodness.
These beats. Fucking One Saturday Night, Nutmeg, Ghost Dini, The Grain, Buck
Malcolm.
50,
Oh,
Malcolm, Stay True, fucking We
oh,
Made It, dog. Share Shayla, Ghost, even on his commercial shit, he killed it. Wu Banger 101, dog. This fucking
oh.
album, this fucking album is like, it's like the heavyweight fucking champion of fucking rap albums, dog. Like
In terms of
nobody
Ghost,
can
he got
fuck
the
with this.
belt in the video with the fly green mink, my nigga.
Yeah,
Like,
man, dog. I'm sitting there watching that Apollo Kids video, and he's in the Wally factory with a fucking Ric Flair robe on, holding the WCW heavyweight belt over his shoulder.
yeah,
And I'm like, yo, this guy is like my fucking hero, dog.
absolutely.
Bro, it does not get better than rocking a Ric Flair robe and a fucking heavyweight title belt while double checking the fucking Wally Clarks as they're coming off the fucking the supply belt, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Flyer.
dog, that is the flyest shit I ever seen in my life, man. So like, yo, Ghostface on Supreme Clientele, like, I don't even know, man. Every other rapper on earth should try to aspire to get to that level because that right there is fucking perfection. It is perfection from top to bottom.
And lyrically too, Miz, the nigga was just
He was he
incredible on that
was
route.
he was definitely at his best. His slang, his charisma, his delivery. You could tell he was hungry in the booth, man. Like he was going in. That was, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say, but that was the best performance of his life in
I
the
agree.
studio in the studio was Supreme Clientele. 100%.
Great shit, Miz. And when that came out, bro, like I couldn't wait. That I was, yo, son, it was like Christmas for a nigga, son. I'm pretty sure you can relate.
Yeah,
You know?
man. I think
Uh,
I forgot when Supreme Cartel dropped, like January or February of 2000. I think I was
2000, yeah.
yeah, I was a junior. I was like a junior in college, sophomore or junior in college or whatever, man. And I went down to Newberry Comics on Newberry Street because I was at BU, so I was close by in Kenmore Square there. I used to walk like 3 days a week after class over to Biscuit Head Records and Newberry Comics over on like Mass Ave and Newberry Street there. And I'll never forget, man. I got that shit. I went back to my dorm room, threw that shit on, and I think I must have listened to the song 15 times in a row. It just stayed on repeat. I could not believe
Oh,
how fucking good I was like, wow. Like, you know, when you anticipate an album like a motherfucker, you're super
oh
hyped for
yeah.
that shit.
That's what I
And
was
then
like, my nigga.
this shit exceeds your expectations, which is extremely rare. Like, that shit went above and beyond what I was expecting. I was shocked at how good that
Yeah.
was. And it is still that good to this day. You pop that shit in today and it is not played out. I've heard it a million times and it'll never be played out to me. That's how good it is.
Never, brother. You hit the nail on
Yeah.
the head because that's my number two as well, my nigga. Supreme
Oh, word, it
Clientele,
is.
man.
Yo.
Yeah.
All right, then I know where we're going. We definitely agree on this shit, man.
Oh
100%.
yeah.
100%.
Fucking 12 Reasons to Die will not be my number one. You know where we're going
Yeah,
with this
yeah, no
one.
doubt, no doubt. No doubt.
Fucking
Holy fuck.
Nutmeg. And Ghost can say the weirdest shit, but it sounds fly. Starsky
Yeah,
with the gum soul. What the fuck does that mean? But it's still fly.
right,
You know what I mean?
right. Yo, he
Oh
stayed on his
man.
shit, man. He stayed on his shit. And honestly, like, um, the one dude who's doing that shit hard body right now is West Side Gun.
Absolutely.
He has that same aura. You know what I mean? He
He
could just
does.
name some random fashion shit that you don't even know what the fuck it means. And he just throw it out there and you be like, oh, that's the flyest shit.
Hey yo, I want Calabasas, rocking Calabasas. Oh, that
Right,
fly
right.
shit, you know?
That's what I'm saying. He has that Ghostface aura from that Supreme Clientele era.
Oh,
And
he does.
yeah, it's unfortunate that Ghostface doesn't have that aura at all anymore.
He's like one of them washed up niggas, like you know what I mean, and boxing niggas or something.
Yeah, man. I know. It's
But
like watching Roy Jones fucking, get knocked out 3 times towards the end of his career, man. Like, it's like, bro, you shouldn't have taken that fight. Just leave with dignity, dog. Like, anyway,
absolutely, dude. But
anyways.
everything Miss said is what I'm gonna say about this record, man. It's fucking phenomenal. I remember the day I got it. This is my same copy holding in my hand right now. Mighty
Mm-hmm.
Healthy, all that fly shit. Church of the Ghosts, I even love. Fucking Malcolm, Apollo, Kids, what he say? Velour down like the Sheikah I ran, all that fly
Yeah,
shit. You
man.
know
Like,
what I mean?
dog. Like, that lyrical content is not there anymore with him, and
Pull
it's
up black
disappointing.
burners like tonsils, man.
Yeah, like yo, those similes and metaphors he was kicking, they were on a whole other level, man. I don't know. It's a shame that's gone, but it's also amazing that at least he gave us Supreme Clientele.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Cause
absolutely, bro.
cause almost 20 years later, that shit still bangs, man.
It does, brother. It does. It never gets old, man. That's one of like I'll be honest. I'm burnt out on. I love the album, but I'm kind of burnt out on Illmatic. Illmatic is fantastic, but to
Right,
me personally,
right,
you
right,
know,
right,
Monster Matters open shit like that. I'm kind of, but not this. This shit,
right,
man. You know,
right. It's just, I don't know. It's fucking amazing.
right? And I'm
All right,
pretty sure
word.
I know what your number one is, brother.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. I'm pretty sure I know what your number one is
No,
too,
yeah,
man.
yes,
All right,
sir.
but yeah. So for me, man, Iron Man is always gonna be a special CD, man. Like I know technically Ghostface was better on Supreme Clientele, like
Yeah,
lyrically and stuff, but it's just there's just something different about an album that's fully produced by the RZA
absolutely.
in the mid 90s, except for like whatever Fish. I think that was True Master, right? But
Yeah,
basically, like this was fully produced by RZA, executive produced by RZA. This this had a Wu-Tang vibe to it. Supreme Clientele also had a Wu-Tang vibe, but it was more Ghostface's persona. His personality really came through on that album, whereas Iron Man was like a bunch of posse cuts, man. You know what I mean? Like him, Ghostface, Ray, and Capadonna. Good God. Anytime the
right.
three of them were on a track together, it was pure fire. Like Iron Maiden coming right out the fucking
Oh
gate.
my,
Like, bro, they bodied that shit. Raekwon bodied his verse on that shit, right?
he absolutely did.
Obviously, like Wildflower. I mean, that is a classic Ghost song. The Faster Blade, classic. 260, classic. Assassination Day, Ghost ain't even on it. It was just a Wu cut,
Oh, I fucking love
classic.
that song.
Poisonous Darts, classic. Winter Wars, you're talking about a fucking verse from
Kappa called a
Capadonna
fucking woo.
that's like one of the best verses in hip hop history. Fish, KMA, Daytona 500, bro. Come on, man. Like, these beats were insane. Motherless Child, Black Jesus, After the Smoke is Clear, All That I Got Is You, like, is such a classic record about coming up in the struggling times and shit. Like, dog, the Soul Control. Yo, I could go on and on. Every fucking
Right?
song in this is classic, bro. This album, top to bottom, classic. I look at it honestly more like a group album. It's like Ray and
Yeah.
Ghost and Kappa, like together, you know. But like, push comes to shove, you put a gun to my head. I don't know, man. The beats on Iron Man. I'm not saying I don't like the beats on Supreme Clientele. Like some days, in my mind, I'll be like, you know what, Supreme Clientele is the best Ghostface album, and I'll be like, I like it better than Iron Man. And then I'll go listen to Iron Man. I'll be like, nah. Fucking Iron Man is too good. You know what I mean? Like
Hell
sometimes I
yeah.
just
I'm saying
can't.
we're
Sometimes I just can't choose. But like, yo, you put a gun to my head, I'm picking Iron Man first. The whole vibe, the sound, it really like it was just oozing with like Wu-Tang kung fu vibes. You know what I mean? Like, and that was just my shit, man. And again, I will absolutely agree. Supreme Clientele, technically Ghostface, that was his best. He was at his best on that. But Iron Man is just too special to me for me to take that out of the number one spot.
yeah. I'm the same way, brother. That's Maple Gardens projects for me. That's niggas in the Pathfinders. That's niggas rocking Wallies because Ghosts is wearing Wallies.
Yeah,
That's my life right there, man.
yeah, man.
And
Like, oh,
Wildflower, my G.
oh.
Wildflower is my favorite Ghostface Killer song of all time.
Let me tell you,
Man,
the first time I ever saw him perform live was at the Worcester Palladium, right?
I've
And it
been there
was
plenty of times, bro.
yup, and I'm pretty sure it was him and Ray. Because he would always have like Ray and Kappa with him back in the day. Anyways, the
Yeah,
very first time I ever saw him perform Wildflower, he did that shit, right? This place was sold out, packed, big ass club, right? And he's
yeah.
on stage, the beat comes on, he's like, yo, cut the beat. He rapped the entire song a cappella, and he was up there
Oh, that's fire.
like you could feel his pain, bro. Like, fuck that bitch. Like, dog, he had grown ass dudes in there ready to shed a tear over this bitch who fucked him over in the song. You know what I mean? Like, oh
Facts.
my god. And the whole place was just spitting with him a cappella, like, because everybody knew, like, dog, he gets in his feelings. That's one thing about Ghost that I love. Like, he's hood, he's gangster, he's gully, he's all that shit. But he will tell you his feelings in a very emotional way, but it's still hard and gangster at the same time, man. He shitted on this bitch for
Yeah.
cheating on him. You know what I mean? He
Oh yeah.
shitted on, and after he spit that shit a cappella, he was like, yo, thanks for letting me get that off my chest to the crowd. He was like, yo, that bitch she fucked my whole world up, man. He's like, I ain't even gonna lie, that bitch fucked my life up. I had to write that. He was like, I had to write that song. I was like, oh my god, like, dog, this dude, he just he takes it to a different level, man. Like, mad rappers write songs about bitches, like, relationship troubles, this, that, and the other. But dog, I
Or,
mean, could anybody do it like Ghostface? Absolutely not. Wildflower is
nah,
like,
shit.
it's probably the greatest track about a bitch ever. Like, period.
I agree. JD's Revenge sample for that Black Exploitation movie, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
goes into
man.
Ghost telling a story. You know what I mean? I was the first nigga that
So
had you watching flicks by De Niro. That's
yeah, man. He was explaining all the fucking lessons he was dropping for her. He's like, yo, man. He's like, I dropped all this wisdom on you, and you're gonna do me like that, man. Oh, he was so pissed, bro. I love that song.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was transitioning to fucking CDs after like '98, and when I got the CD, my motherfucking copy didn't have the Soul Controller, so once I got the
Oh
internet,
yeah,
I had to get that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it wasn't on the
I
CD.
I got one copy that got Soul Controller on it, and then I think I have two more copies, but that do not have it on it. But yeah, man, I got lucky because I switched over to CDs. I think probably I'd say like 94, 95 ish. somewhere in
Yeah.
that area. I got a boombox that had a CD player, so I started getting CDs, and that shit was mad weird to me, man. I didn't like how it was like a square case. I was so used to the
The
rectangle
cassette
tapes.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So when the
Same.
square fucking cases came out, I was like all weirded out by that shit. But whatever, man. I'm used to it now.
Yeah, Iron Man is a bona fide classic, brother. We broke that
Yeah,
down
man.
lovely, man.
It's a
For
fucking
sure, man.
classic Wu Tang album, man. Like it was an incredible follow up to Cuban Links, man.
Absolutely.
Coming off of that same type of vibe, but like with more of Ghostface's personality involved in the record, because obviously it
And
was
only
his
with
album.
Cuban Links. Cuban Links is my favorite album of all time, point blank, period.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
forget
Just
about it.
that's
That's like the most classic of all classics, man.
right. That's
Uh,
Godfather 1, Iron
yeah,
Man's Godfather 2,
yeah.
Goodfellas Casino shit, my
That
nigga.
that
You
is
feel?
that is a great way to describe it, man. Godfather 1 and Godfather 2, man. I agree with that 100%, man. And for me, like,
Absolutely.
yeah, Cuban Links, Iron Man, Liquid Swords, 36 Chambers, and Forever. I'd say those 5 albums are my top 5 right there. And I'm talking top 5 including any rapper. My top
I'm not
5
mad at
is
that,
is
brother.
is completely full of Wu-Tang in the top 5.
Hell yeah.
Fuck that shit. Number 6, Supreme Clientele. Number 7 is when I'll start to move on to other rappers, and I'll probably throw It Was Written in there because that's my favorite Nas
Oh,
joint.
that's my favorite Nas album too. That's my favorite
Yeah, man.
Nas album too, but I worship that album, brother.
Yeah, man. It's
But
too good, man.
when did you fucking say that you were like, man, Ghost is falling off, man? When would you say that? Because
So,
I'm gonna
uh,
talk about that a little bit.
so for me, I'd say it began with his Apollo Kids album in 2010. That
I agree.
album, that album, although I'd say it was a 50-50 album. Like I half the songs I really fucked with, and half of them I didn't really like that much, right? So I'd say that was like the beginning of his decline. And then I'm not 100% sure on the timeline of when these albums came out, but correct me if I'm wrong. After that, you had like 12 Reasons to Die 1. You,
Yes.
you had 12 Reasons to Die 2 came out. 36 Seasons came out. Sour Soul came out. The Lost Tapes compilation came out. And then you got the Ghostface Killers that just came out not
Oh
too long
goodness.
ago. Yeah, and for me, like what at least as a fan who I'm not in the studio with Ghostface. I don't know what the fuck's going on per se, although I've heard I have some inside info on certain projects and shit. But basically what it all comes down to from my vantage point is you got producers who are trying to get known by using Ghostface Killah, right? So you got
Yeah.
Adrian Young. Adrian Young at the time, he's a musician. I don't know much about his career, but I imagine he was into like other genres of music. He's an actual
Yeah.
musician, right? So whatever the fuck happened, somehow he linked up with Ghostface Killah and they started talking and they're like, let's do a project together. But the way these things worked, every single one of these albums that Ghostface did after Apollo Kids consisted of the same what's the word? It was like the same way they made the album. And the way this happened was you got a producer or a production team, like Sour Soul was that bad, not good band or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they would throw Ghostface, they'd pitch him an idea like, hey, let's do an album together. We'll fully produce that shit. We'll give you like 100 G's or 150 G's off the top, flat fee, and just record all your verses on these beats and we'll take care of the rest. You give us the verses, we'll mix and master it. We'll add features, we'll add the, whatever music pieces and this that. Just spit your verses, send them to us and we're done. So you got Ghostface just getting a bunch of fucking beats sent to him
Word.
that he doesn't care if they're good or not because he's getting paid up front. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, you
like,
can tell that shit too.
yeah, and then he just spits a bunch of throwaway verses for these guys, and then they put Ghostface's name on the album. You know what I mean? Like 12 Reasons to Die was Adrian Young presents 12 Reasons to Die
Yeah.
featuring Ghostface Killah. That wasn't an official Ghostface album, right?
Nah.
Then you got 36 Seasons, which I think was the best out of all of
Yeah.
those out
I
of
do
all
like
those.
I do like
Yeah.
that a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit. Yeah.
I fuck with that one the most out of those albums that came out after 2010, right? But even that, he had like AZ and G rap all over it. Because why? He only got paid enough money to spit like 12 verses or 15 verses, right? They
That's
paid who
wild.
knows. Right. So like they had to fill in all the gaps because Ghost didn't get paid enough to record 3 verses on a track. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
these are bullshit compilation projects
I
that are
agree, bro.
collabos with these other people. Like, bro, when he did that Sour Soul shit with Bad Bad Not Good, he went on tour that year and he had a fucking band with him. And me and my brother walked out of the show. I've seen Ghostface live.
Oh shit.
I've seen him live at least. I've seen him live at least 25 times in my life, at least as a solo artist, right? Not
Yeah.
including group efforts. I see him everywhere all the time. And I walked out. I can't fuck with Ghostface Killah with a live band. Like, bro, two
Nah. The
turntables and a
fuck.
fucking mic, bro. Two turntables and a mic. So
Right? Preach
Sour
that shit,
Soul
my
was
nigga.
just it's a band making rap beats. Like that ain't rap to me, dog. Like that's music. That's that's some musical fucking band orchestra shit, bro. Go do that. Go do that shit with some white boys, bro. Like, stop fucking, stop making all this musical shit. I don't care about your musical talent. I care about boom, bap, and some rap on top of it. That's all I give a
Absolutely.
fuck about. So like, I'm all set with these things. And then the Lost Tapes, that was A&R'd by somebody else. All right,
Oh
that whole
god.
project was taken care of by the A&R. Ghostface got paid a flat fee or whatever to do like 12 verses. And that's why you had like 3 or 4 features on every song. Because
That was
the
crazy
A
to me, my
because
nigga.
the A&R had connections with all these other rappers. He manages some of them, he does other dealings, and he got a bunch of people to spit verses on a Ghostface album. And he probably got verses for free from some of these rappers who were up and coming who wanted to be on a Ghostface album because they thought that was like some amazing shit, which I would have too if it was presented to me that way. But
Yeah.
lo and behold, you just got a bunch of fucking throwaway verses from Ghost. And to be honest, it sounded to me like Sean Wiggs wrote a lot of that shit. His whole flow changed after 2010. You go back and
John
listen to
Wiggs, the white boy, right?
yeah, yeah,
Theodore?
yeah,
Yeah.
Theodore Unit, Trife and him. I'm sure Trife wrote a ton of Ghostface verses for him after
That's
2010.
sad.
Because bro, if the guy's getting paid a flat fee to just give you 12 verses, he gets you back 1 week later, and next thing you know, he just made 100 G's. You think he cares about that? I wouldn't either if I was him. Like I understand Ghostface's side of it. He's just getting paid money because these assholes want to make a name for themselves using his name, but he doesn't care. Like he's not hungry anymore, and I get that. But if that's the
Nah,
case,
he's not, bro.
stop fucking recording albums. You can tour on your old shit. He tours every year,
And we're,
and he
and we'll be
sells
fine with
out
those old
every
albums
year.
too, bro.
Yeah, man. And by the way, he does all these new albums. He gets on stage on tour for this new album, and you're lucky if he even
Yeah.
does one song off of that album. He does every
Oh
time he
man.
performs. He's doing Iron Man. He's doing Cuban Links. He's doing Supreme Clientele. He's doing all the good old shit. You know what I mean? He doesn't come to a fucking show and do this new bullshit. So like, why even bother, dog? I don't know. It drives me crazy. But the bottom
I'm
line
with
for
you.
me,
I'm
the
with you, bro.
bottom line for me is, I just wish he would stop doing collaboration projects with producers or production
Yeah.
teams who are just trying to get their name out there using a famous rapper's name to their advantage. Like he said he was going to drop Supreme Clientele 2 like 10 years ago. He sends out, I'm on
Yeah,
his
blue and cream, right? Blue
yeah,
and
man,
cream, screw himself.
I'm on his
Two, yeah,
email
yeah.
list, his official email list, and he sends out these updates like, oh,
Yep.
Supreme Clientele 2 coming and all this shit. Bullshit, bro. Like, Every year he gets proposed a new collabo project. He gets 6 figures off the top. And then he's like, why the fuck do I care about the other shit? I just tour the rest of the year. I make all my money. He's making 6 figures every year, I'm sure. No problem, with his touring and shit and
Yeah.
all this merchandise. So his income hasn't been fucked up. So if he's getting money easy doing this, he's gonna keep doing it, bro. And that's why like he's dead to me now. Like real talk. I hate to say it. My favorite rapper ever. I am not on the lookout for any new music from that dude. He has disappointed
My
me
nigga.
9 years in a row, bro. 9 years in a row. This
I'm.
this new Ghostface Killah shit, that's the last straw. What the fuck? His
Oh
lyrics,
man.
his lyrics were fucking Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss, Mother Goose bullshit, bro. Like
Shit that
any
RZA said on Kiss
asshole
Forever,
could
my nigga.
write those rhymes. So for me, it's like, bro, either Ghostface is just a flat out asshole and he's writing pure shit and he's an asshole, or somebody else is ghost writing his shit. And in either way, it's fucked up, bro. You're ruining your legacy, dog. Like, he had the most perfect solo catalog of music. For me,
He did.
his solo albums up until 2010, I was like, he's the GOAT. There's no other rapper solo that has that many fucking amazing albums in a row,
Yeah,
right?
and he's in
But
my top
then,
three base. You know.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
the motherfucker does 9 years of whack albums. Bro, your whack albums are gonna surpass your good albums. Like, he needs to
Oh
fucking
man.
figure this shit out. I don't know, man, but it's driving me crazy because he's
I'm
my
with you.
favorite rapper, bro.
And all of that shit that you mentioned, Miz, is on my shelf, but it's not ripped to my computer. It's not on my iPod, bro. It's
Yeah,
not. You know what I mean? I listened
right.
to
I don't,
12 Reasons to
I
Die
don't,
April 2012. I hasn't been listened to since, my nigga. You
yeah,
know what I
listen,
mean?
I don't blame you. I don't blame you because that's taking up fucking gigabytes on the iPod, bro. Like, yo, these iPods are small, man. I got like 450 gigabytes of fucking rap music on the computer, And they just
Yeah.
finally dropped a new iPod earlier this year. I got it, the 256 gig one, right?
I
And
my nigga Steve told me about that. Yo.
yeah, and even the 256 ain't big enough to cover all my shit.
No,
And
same here, bro.
yeah, so like, yo, when space is limited, I'm sorry, bro, but these whack albums got to go, and it's like they become a one listen, and then they're done, one and done.
Yep.
How do you go from Supreme Clientele to a one listen and then never want to listen again? I mean, this
I,
is like, it's one of the most catastrophic downfalls in rap history for
and that's how I
me at
feel
least.
about the Ghostface album too. I liked it a bit, but then
Yeah.
I put it back, my nigga. I was like, you
Yeah,
know,
well, I
like
mean, Czarface in general, they're on a whole different vibe. They're whole like when I get their albums, I go into them with a different. I'm in a different zone because I know what they're about on those. It's like
yeah, they're
it's
fire.
it,
But
it
the Ghost
yeah,
one was like,
it's comic book shit, But like, yeah, again, Ghostface comes in and his verses were weak. The guy is putting no effort into his lyrical output right now, and
he
you
needs to
can.
go back to Stapleton Paul or something and come back. You know what I
Right, right.
mean? Like,
Yeah. I know. But honestly, I don't know if we'll ever get that out of Ghost ever again. So,
yeah, I don't know.
so yeah, in that regard, like, I'm not gonna be an asshole about it. Like, yo, like, yeah, I call people out. You know how I do, man. But
Oh yeah, bro.
at the same time, that does not take away from his performance from 1993 all the way to 2010. For me, like those 17 years, that guy was God. That guy was God to me. Like,
Absolutely.
nobody was fucking with him. I'll never take that away from him. But I will call him out if he puts out bullshit now.
Same. I'm the same way, brother. I bark on these niggas too. Nas,
Yeah,
him, fucking
yeah.
meth,
You have
all these.
we we have to, man, because we know what they are all capable of doing, and it's just
Absolutely.
sad. It's just sad when they don't try. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
no effort, like you said, bro. It's like, what the
Yeah,
fuck? Like, I would never
disappointing. Yo.
think of a million years that a Ghostface Killer record would be in my shelf with like 1,000 dust bunnies on that motherfucker.
Right, right. No, I know, but that's the way all those albums have been for me, man. All of
Yeah,
them, man. I tried to go back because you go online and you see these weirdos talking about 12 Reasons to Die, classic,
I know.
fucking
That's
classic. What do you
crazy.
mean classic? It's like it's the shittiest album, man. It's horrible,
It
literally
is.
horrible. Like I could give a fuck what they say on the album. None of those bars impressed me. None of those bars made me use my brain to figure out what the inner meaning was, or like nothing fly was said on those albums, bro.
Boring shit too, my
It was
nigga,
all
no?
boring. And then you combine the weak lyricism with really weak beats. And like
Yeah.
Ghostface, I used to always say he was one of the best solo rappers because he had a great ear for good beats. He knew how to pick great beats, man. And now I'm just like, he's not picking them. He's like, yeah, give me this much money and I'll rap on whatever the fuck you want me to rap on. Just give me my money. That's what I feel like his attitude is now. And it's
Yeah.
horrible.
Like you said, we'd be good off the fucking 93 to 2010 shit. You know what I mean? And just
Yeah,
retire while
yeah.
you're ahead, Ghost, because you're fucking your whole shit up, my nigga.
Right, right.
You know? And
Yeah, I
luckily I
mean,
didn't pre-order that Ghostface Killers, because I'd be fucked if I pre-ordered that, man. Oh, man.
yo, you don't know how many times I went to that website that had all the vinyl like bundles and they had all this other shit. They were selling autographed vinyls for $100, and I kept looking at it and I'm like, yo, this artwork is mad weak. I heard like the first
It's
track or
weird, yeah.
whatever that single. I was like, yo, that first beat is really nothing special, you know. And I was like, man, this is gonna be another bullshit album. So I didn't pre-order anything. I was in Newberry Comics one day, and surprisingly, they had it on the shelves because nowadays a lot of stores they don't get new music right away. They'll get it like 6 months
Yeah.
later on the shelves. But for whatever reason, it was on the shelves the week that it released online. It released in Newberry Comics also. So I was curious. They had it on sale for like $12. It was like 11.88 or something. So I bought it. Whatever, put it in my Ghostface collection. But I really wasn't expecting much going into it, and I listened to it once, and I will never listen to it again. That's how bad it was.
Every time I see you post, like, speak your mom, brother, because you killing these niggas out here.
Yeah, man, like
You
straight. I
know,
think
true shit.
I compared that album being as embarrassing as me taking a shit in my cousin's pool when I was like fucking 8 years old, bro. Yeah, real talk. like
Dude,
like
this nigga from the Swarm record, that white Remedy, he tried to get at you or something. He's like, listen to
Yeah,
the album,
because
something like that, right?
he did, and fucking Remedy, man. He's from Staten Island. He's a white boy. He was down with Wu-Tang Records back in the day. He dropped a couple albums with Wu-Tang. I think RZA possibly executive produced his first album, or at least was affiliated with that album. Whatever, right? So
Yeah.
clearly he has ties to Wu-Tang. He has ties to Ghostface Killah, and he executive produced this Ghostface Killah's album with with uh
Wow.
with the guy who produced all the beats, and I forgot what his name was. But the bottom line is, I shitted on the album. He comes on my page and he probably didn't read my post, and he started commenting to random people who commented on my post, telling them to go check out the album. You know what I mean? And I was just like, bro, don't come on my page promoting your bullshit.
Right?
Like, that album is trash. Get the fuck out of here. Like, do not try to swindle people who follow me, because I'm gonna tell them this album sucks. You're over here trying to front like, oh, this is some classic Ghostface. They do it every year. Classic. Oh, this
Yeah.
album's a
Bullshit.
classic. Oh, fucking Ghostface. They were like, he brought hip hop back. Bro, no, he didn't. He did nothing with this album. The album is pure shit. So I let Remedy know. I was like, bro, fuck you. Like, put in a better effort next time. You get a once in a
Yeah.
lifetime chance to fucking executive produce an album of Ghostface, and everybody half-assed it. Like, fuck all of them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all set.
Absolutely. I
Fucking
got I
guy. You
got
think?
one listen on Spotify for me, and that's all it's getting. That's all
Yeah,
it's getting.
yeah. Fuck that shit, man. I'm
The
sick of
Deck
this shit.
record, I didn't hear that either. I
Yeah,
didn't
the
even give
same
that a
the,
chance.
the same guy who produced Ghostface Killers produced the Deck album. They
Oh
got
God,
some
I'm good.
they got some white guy in Staten Island who makes beats, and his beats are not horrible, but they're also not good. They're like slightly below average, I would say. They're like decent, but it's the kind of
Yeah,
shit you hear once and you're like, meh, whatever. You ain't got to listen to it again.
that one and
So
done bullshit. You know what I
right,
mean?
so like, dog, I don't know. That album was complete bullshit. It was a fucking scam, and they're out there selling $100 bundles of this piece of shit album
Oh
that
my
that
good,
people are gonna
that is
that
pathetic.
people are gonna listen to once or twice and never listen to it again. And they know what they're doing, and they think they can do this year in and year out to their fans. Like, yo, eventually, even the stands are gonna stop buying this shit. Because
All right.
at the end of the day, if you listen to the album a couple times and then you forget about it, and then you go back to listen to Ghostface and you're picking his old albums and you're listening to the old ones and you never go back to that shit, the fans, as much as they might suck your dick online, they're gonna remember. Like, oh, I bought his last like 3 albums and I don't even listen to them. Why would I buy the fourth one? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
eventually this is gonna bite themselves in their ass, man.
that's what
But
happened to
whatever.
me, Miz. I have every single Ghostface album except for that one. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
listen, I don't blame you.
uh,
Honestly, I bought it because it was in front of my face. I was in the store and I was like, man, I'm curious to know what this sounds like. And I ain't a download type of guy. So whatever, I
yeah,
grabbed it, and like, you know me, usually if I like an album or I like a rapper, I'll support them so they make more music. Give them money,
yeah.
they'll make more. So, I'll buy the record, the CD, and the tape. But this shit, fuck out of here. They're lucky I even bought. They're lucky I even bought the one CD, and that kills me too because my Ghostface collection is immaculate. I have all these
Oh
rap
hell yeah,
12 Reasons to Die. I bought them all because it's Ghostface. Like, oh, I gotta
yeah.
have my Ghostface collection. But yo, honestly, enough is enough, man. If you're gonna put out bullshit, then fuck you. I'm not gonna give you money for it anymore. I'm done. I'm fucking done.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Same here, brother. Like subpar music from Ghost for like fucking decade, man. And
Right.
like,
And it's like why
God,
would we waste our time listening to any of that bullshit this decade when he's got 17 years worth of music that's all classic behind it? Like he has a huge catalog of music, whether in the group or solo, that I can go back and listen to and be fully satisfied. So
absolutely.
why would I even check for this new shit at this point? You know what I mean?
Every time I
So,
listen to getting ready for this episode, I listen to all the shit that was on our list, man. That's what shit
yeah.
we're bumping, yo.
Right,
You
right.
know?
Year in and year out, I am constantly bumping old Ghostface. He's my favorite rapper. I listen to him all the time. I'll never stop listening to those albums that we talked about in our top five. But like all this
Hell
shit
yeah.
since 2010, like I will never remember or care to listen to those albums ever again, and
And
that's
I
that's
know
sad.
I know Money Miz ain't an R&B guy, yo, but do you like the motherfucking Wizard of Poetry record?
Yes, I think that's way better than those other albums that we were just talking about. Because
Stapleton
that,
Sex, my nigga.
yeah, yo, honest to God, Stapleton Sex is possibly the greatest rap song ever about fucking a bitch. That is the
it,
dirtiest
it,
shit I
oh
ever
yeah.
heard in my entire life. The beat, I think, did Scram Jones do that beat? I think that shit
Yeah,
was
that shit is
hard. That
fire.
shit was hard as fuck. The music video is ill too. He got a couple of the
Oh, is
baddest
it a video
bitches.
shit?
Oh, yo, look that up on
Oh
YouTube, bro.
shit.
Yo, he got Yari Sanchez in the fucking video. She used to be like a big booty model, like video vixen back in the day. And when I was doing my
Yeah,
website, I interviewed her on the site. She from what do you call it? She's from like the Bronx, I think, or like Harlem. She's like uptown or whatever.
yeah.
Anyways, yo, wait till you see this video, bro.
Oh, shit.
There are two super bad bitches in this video, dog.
I can't wait. After this
Yeah,
is
man.
over, a couple of minutes, I'm checking that out. But
Yeah, trust me on that, man. Stapleton Sex is crazy. That is legit the grimiest fuck song I have ever heard in my life, man.
you don't
So
smoke, nigga. Shorty says,
yeah,
yeah, that's just fire, man.
yeah, man. So like, yo, like going into that album, I knew it was an R&B album, like that they had
Yeah.
advertised it that way. I read about it. So like mentally I was prepared for that. I was thinking, never be the same again type joints and shit like that. And coming from Ghostface, I love that shit because he adds that super hood vibe to any type of R&B song, and I like that.
Yes.
So that's the type of R&B I could fuck with when it's gully and grimy and dirty and shit. And Ghost brings that, so I'm with that. Um, so and that was like a real album. He That was him. He sought out producers. He picked the beats himself. You know what I mean? Like
Yes, sir.
you could tell it was a whole different vibe to that album. Whereas these collabo shits that he does with these producers, one-off joints with one producer, they're all trash. Because he throws his throwaway verses at them. Like, why would he even make an
Yep.
effort if they're paying him up front? You know? So
Which is a fucking
anyway,
shame, man. Sad
yeah, man.
shit, but
Yeah.
I won't take up too much of your time, Miz. This was a fucking blast, brother. I highly enjoyed this.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Same here. Thanks for having me on, man. I always appreciate it.
Any anytime, man. I got all your information in the motherfucking description. You want
Good
to
looks, thank
tell
you.
heads how to want to tell these heads how to get a hold of you and a bunch of new podcasts, brother?
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
follow me on Instagram at money.miz, M-I-Z as in zebra.
That nigga said
That's my
zero.
Instagram. Well, welcome to my Instagram. It's fucking ratchet. you know,
The
I fucking
gulliest white boy I ever known in my life.
yeah,
Like that's
thank
dead
you.
ass serious.
I appreciate that compliment, man.
Yeah, my nigga.
Word. And then yeah, I started a new podcast. We just released our second episode today, actually.
Amazing.
The name of the podcast is The Fuck You Mean, and it's spelled DAFUK U, the letter U, and then mean, MEAN. The fuck you mean. And that is with my boy Lukey Cage. Shout out Lukey Cage from Atlanta.
Yeah.
You guys might know him from a lot of the big Ghost LTD projects. He does a lot of skits on them. He did the skits on Crybapple's Arguardiente with
Fire album. Oof.
Big Ghost. Yeah. Lukey Cage is my boy. He's a funny motherfucker. He speaks his mind like I do. And yeah, he hit me up and he was like, yo, let's do this podcast. So I was like, all right, word. So we got that shit going. It's gonna drop new episodes every Tuesday. It's called The Fuck You Mean. You can follow that too on Instagram. The Fuck You Mean Pod, POD at the end for podcast. And we're gonna be having interviews. I think we're gonna be interviewing Daniel's son next week, hopefully.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because he's gonna be dropping that Moonshine Mix 2 this month coming soon. So
Oh
we're gonna
yeah.
talk about his new album coming out with Future Wave. Yeah, so that's basically it. So follow me at money.miz. My boy Lukey Cage at Lukey Cage, LUKEYCAGE. And then also our podcast is The Fuck You Mean Pod. Bang.
Bang bang, nigga.
Bang. Word.
Yeah. Thanks, brother.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it, my nigga.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you having me on. This was a good time, and I look forward to doing this again in the future with you, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. All right, y'all. See y'all niggas
All
on the
right.
flip side. Peace.
Bang.
Bang bang.